So when I was a kid, during Lent, my mother would send me to school with bacalao and egg sandwiches, and like people would, you put your lunch in the back in the closet, and people like, what is that? What is that? And I'm like, and lunchtime, everybody's like trading off sandwiches, who has tuna fish, who has, egg salad, whatever, peanut butter and jelly, and like nobody's trading me for my bacalao and egg sandwich. I was like, I couldn't give that away. But, years later, like all those kids that made fun of me and my bacalao sandwiches, my bacalao and egg sandwiches, I would run into them at like book signings and stuff, and they were like, hey, remember me? And I'm like, yeah, I remember you, making fun of my bacalao sandwich. Why don't you come up over here and let me sign that book for you? They didn't know what they were missing. So, Brandada de Bacalao, or as it's known in French, Brandada de Bacalao. When I first tasted this, I was a student at the French Culinary Institute, which is now the International Culinary Center. Shameless plug. And I was like bowled over, so I started to look for stuff to read about it, and I found out that, in fact, it's very, very popular in Spain. So this is a great recipe to use like the ends, like the scraps of bacalao, because you don't have to see all those gorgeous, beautiful white flakes. Let's do this. Let's pulse this. And then we're going to add our potato. My kids love to say that I have asbestos hands, but even with my asbestos hands, these potatoes are hot. Now with the motor running, I'm going to go ahead and add about 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. What do we got? Nothing short of heaven. Wow, that's amazing. Look at this. Oh, and you serve this with toasted croutons or toast points. When I was a student at the FCI, Chef Jacques Pepin was the Dean of Culinary Studies, and his thing was to sprinkle this with cheese and run it under the broiler. Okay, so then we're going to add a little lemon zest for brightness. A dust of cayenne. And we're good to go. I did that once. I did a reading in the theater. And in between scenes, I went outside to smoke a cigarette, and I had my glasses on. When I came inside, I forgot I had my sunglasses on, and I sat down for the reading, and everybody's cracking up, and I'm saying, what's funny? And I'm like, fuck. Okay, so for our second recipe, our Bacalao Guisado con berenjena, I started off with a little achote oil and my sofrito, of course, and now I'm going to start adding the aromatics, a bay leaf, about a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin, my alcaparrado. Alcaparrado being a fancy word for olive salad. Salt. Tomato sauce, about a 1/2 can. I don't want it too loose. And we're going to mix that up and add our bacalao. Depending on how many people you're going to serve. Look at these gorgeous flakes. I mean, beautiful. I couldn't have picked a better example. And we're going to fold that into our sofrito. Lower the heat and cover. I figured 20 minutes. We should be good. Well, it doesn't get prettier than that. That's amazing. I'm going to add a little pepper. Oh, goodness. I just want a little bit of white rice, mush it all up. That looks absolutely mouth-watering. Okay, so over here I have the eggplant that I grilled prior. And when you do Bacalao Guisado, normally, as I said before, the eggplant goes in here and the whole thing stews together. It comes out the consistency of like Italian caponata. But I just look, you're going to see how beautiful this looks. but this is one of my mother's favorite Lenten dishes. Bacalao con berenjena. One of the simplest and most delicious, in my opinion, recipes is what in Puerto Rico we call la serenata, a serenade, and it is just a very, very simple salad of flaked bacalao, onion, olive oil, a little chopped cilantro, and some hard-boiled eggs. I am telling you, we serve it with vianda, either yuca or tostones or little boiled green bananas or anything like that. Okay, so this is what the bacalao looks like when you take it out of the package, or like in some markets they just have it air dried. This is what it looks like after you've desalted and cooked it in water, and then it comes off in these beautiful little flakes like this. It just comes off. And you have to watch for bones, of course. As a little kid, my goodness, they would tell us horror stories about bacalao bones. And maybe that's why I was so scared of it. That and the funky smell. Okay, then I have a medium-sized, smallish Spanish onion. And I'm just going to go ahead and sliver it. And we're going to add that. Now I look forward to this. Sometimes I have a craving. I get a little willy for serenata. All those beautiful, tender, delicious cilantro stems. Yummy, right in there. Okay, and then we're going to add some olive oil. So just mix it all together. Look at those beautiful flakes, the onion slivers, the beautiful cilantro, and then we have our hard-boiled egg. Oh, double yolk. What a treat. And then I'm going to add a little salt, which is ironic after we spent all that time taking the salt out of it, but you really do lose a lot. And that's how simple the serenata is. You serve this with some boiled yuca or some tostones or whatever. Oh, some pana. Hello. And there we have it. Serenata de Bacalao. Yum. It is so good. I can't, because you have this delicious cold salad, and then I like to scoop some on a fork with a piece of yuca that's really, really hot, and the oil is all oniony and bacalao-y, and stuff happens in your mouth. Really, really good stuff. You don't have to wait for Lent to enjoy it. I enjoy bacalao all year long.